Debt is stressful, overwhelming, and expensive. When you think about your situation, you start to feel hopeless. It's like quicksand. You try to move, but it pulls you deeper. According to the latest consumer data from the Federal Reserve Bank, the total credit card balance is $1.18 trillion. 46% of adult cardholders carry a balance with an average APR of 21.16% on current credit card accounts and 24.35% on new credit card offers. If it feels like you're drowning, it's because you are. I have been there. But here's how I came up for air, and you can too. Depending on your debt level, you can be debt-free by January or this time next year. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Financial Goldmine. Today, we are talking about how you can get out of debt quickly. In this video, I'll share 5 steps that I've personally tried that work. If you stay focused, you'll find that the result is escaping debt faster than you think. After the 5 steps, I'll give you tips and mistakes to avoid. The first step is to have a small emergency fund. Please do not skip this step. An emergency fund is a cash reserve set aside for financial emergencies. Having an emergency fund is crucial because anything can happen to any of us at any moment in life. If you are not prepared for an emergency, you'll end up right back in debt. Why? Because you'll likely fund those emergencies with a credit card or by borrowing more money. I would like for you to prevent that. So make sure that you have at least $1,000 set aside for emergencies. Now, $1,000 is just a start. Once your debt is paid off, you can come back and ensure that you have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Once you have a small emergency fund of about $1,000, you are ready to start tackling your debt. Step number 2 is to face the numbers. You cannot fix it if you are afraid to look at it. During this step, you will list out all of your debts. You can use a debt tracker or a spreadsheet, whatever works for you. I will be coming up with something for you very soon, but until then, you're tracking all credit cards, personal loans, medical debt, student loans, and car loans. Key things to focus on are the lender, the balance, the minimum payment due, the due date, and the interest rate. If you need help with this, you can access your free credit report on annualcreditreport.com. From there, you list all of your debts that need to be paid. Once you have a list of all the debt that needs to be paid off, you are ready to move to step number 3, pick a payoff strategy. Now it is time to choose a payoff method. The 2 primary methods are the snowball and the avalanche method. I know many of you have heard about these because they are popular and they work. The avalanche method, also known as debt stacking, is paying off debts with the highest interest rates first. You list all of your debt from the highest interest rate to the lowest, and you focus on paying off the highest interest debt first and make minimum payments on all other debt. All extra money goes to the debt with the higher interest rate. Once you pay off the debt with the higher interest, then you move to the next debt with the highest interest. You continue this method until all the debt is paid off. This method is effective because it saves money in the long run by targeting debts with the highest interest rates. With the debt snowball method, you list all debts from smallest to largest. This is the method that I use, and by using it, you can be debt-free in 18 to 24 months. All extra money is put on the smallest debt, and all other debts receive the minimum payment. This method offers significant psychological benefits. You experience satisfaction as you see debts being paid off more quickly. Both are great methods that work. You pick the one that works best for you. Now that you have an emergency fund, a list of your debts, and a plan to pay them off, it is time to take action, cut expenses, and boost your income. If you want to reach your goals, some expenses will have to be cut. If you commit now, you will thank yourself later. Comb through all of your monthly costs and cut anything that is unnecessary. A straightforward way to make cuts is by starting with subscriptions. There's so many today, it is insane. Everybody wants you to subscribe to everything. I've eliminated a couple, and every little bit saved counts. I was also able to reduce my cell phone bill and my car insurance bill. I know it's not easy, especially with today, everything is so expensive, but it's time to call these companies and see if you can lower the bill or get a quote for a lower service. I did this last year, y'all, and I saved about $75 on my car insurance alone. Also, if you have any unused memberships, cut those too. I want you to live life and enjoy life. Life is meant to be lived, but if you're not using it, then it needs to be cut. I live by this rule. If it's something that's important or something that I like, I'm keeping it. And then you cut back on the less important things. I love this. 5, increase income. Increasing income will help you tremendously because it will allow you to pay off debt faster. Please do not work yourself to death. On this channel, I do not want you working to where you're not enjoying life. But instead, I want you to stay focused on your end goal and you will be able to get through this. For instance, if your job offers overtime, it can be an option. But another tip is to use the skills that you have and monetize them. It could involve offering a service or creating a product to sell. Another option is maybe a part-time job such as DoorDash. That's something else that I've tried in the past. Uber, Instacart, customer service, delivering packages. The options are endless and I've pretty much done it all. Another thing that you can try that I personally try is selling items on Mercari, Poshmark, ThreadUp, eBay. I've done eBay. When my store was booming, I was making between $1,500 and $2,500 per month. I started off selling my things that I no longer needed or wanted, but then I went to secondhand shops and I found all types of items to add to my store to make sure that I was making money every month. What about creating content? There are numerous ways to make money by creating content, including the TikTok shop and the creator program, which has been life-changing for millions of people. If you would like for me to do a video on TikTok and all the ways people are making money, comment and let me know. Now that you have cut costs and increased your income, it is time to move to the next step. The final step is to track your progress and stay consistent until the debt is paid off. Paying off debt, it's not glamorous and it can feel boring at times. And depending on how much debt you have, it can take months or even years. You have to get your head in the game and stay consistent. I'm telling you, the benefits will outweigh the time spent paying off the debt. If you can sacrifice for a few months or years, it can change your entire financial future. Keep in mind that it is tough to save money or build wealth if you are in debt. I promise you, you can get yourself out of debt. I believe in you. Others have done it. Millions have done it, and you can too. Now, if you want the plan to actually work, I have some must-follow tips that'll help keep you on track. Tip number 1, when trying to get out of debt, a balance transfer can be very tempting. Mark my words, it can work, but it can also hinder your progress. On the positive side, transferring debt to a 0% interest credit card can save you interest. However, the negative is that it can worsen your situation. Be honest with yourself. If you transfer debt from one credit card to another without changing the habits that led you into debt, you will accrue more debt and now you will have an even bigger problem. Be honest with yourself. If your habits have not changed, then a balance transfer is not for you. You will end up with the balance transfer card having a balance and the old debt having a balance. Now you got double. That is incredibly stressful. It's not a smart financial decision, and I do not want any of that for you. But if your head is in the game, then maybe a balance transfer is for you. Be honest and you decide if that is something that can work for you. If not, don't do it. Tip number 2 is to automate your process. Automation is a financial strategy that allows you to deposit or move your money on a regular basis automatically. It ensures that your payments are made on time. With automated payments, you're less likely to skip or postpone a payment. Manual payment tracking and paying bills can be stressful, but automating bills and debt repayments can free up your mental energy to focus on other aspects of life. Now, you do have to check on automation and make sure that things are flowing the way they should and that things are getting paid. Automation is a very powerful tool that can streamline your entire process, save time, simplify money management, and help you avoid late payments and fees. Tip number 3, when it comes to credit cards, please be careful. I know you prefer to use them to earn rewards, but the reality is that if you cannot pay your balance off in full each month, you do not need a credit card. I know that sounds like a harsh truth, but I'm here to be honest with you. If you cannot pay the balance in full, you don't need a credit card. Paying your balance in full is beneficial for many reasons. You avoid interest, maintain a low utilization rate, and reduce debt-related stress. In order to pay off your debt, you have to be honest with yourself. Is a credit card for you? Can you pay that bill off every month? If you're in debt, probably not. So maybe it's time to cut back on the credit card rewards and get the debt paid off. While paying off debt, there are things that you need to avoid. 1, avoid accumulating new debt. The whole point of paying off debt is to get yourself out of the situation that you're in. How can you do that if you keep digging the hole deeper and deeper into debt? New debt hinders reduction efforts. Additional debt will divert funds from paying off the original debt to new debt that you accumulated. If you continue to accumulate new debt, you will start to spiral out of control. And remember how you feel like you're sinking and drowning? It becomes even more stressful, okay? Eventually, you will not be able to keep up. Late payments will affect your credit, and if they do not get addressed quickly, this can lead to a charge-off, and now your bill is in collections. We do not want that. Another thing that I want you to be very careful with is debt consolidation. Debt consolidation is a financial strategy where multiple debts are combined into a single account. Debt consolidation works with bills such as credit cards, personal loans, medical bills, and more. The drawback is that you still have the debt, and on top of that, there are usually lots of fees, higher interest, and a longer repayment period. It seems enticing because you have one single payment, but what you have to consider is the total cost of the debt consolidation over the life of the loan. It could end up costing you more money. So while the monthly cost may seem like it's less than what you were paying between 5 different accounts, you have to consider the total amount that you'll be paying over the life of the loan. The final thing that you should avoid is making the minimum payment. Making the minimum payment keeps you in debt longer. You pay significantly more than the original purchase price, and it can hurt your credit score utilization, which is 30% of your credit score. So whether you choose the snowball or avalanche method, you will be paying off one of your debts first. It is crucial to pay more than the minimum on this particular account. Once the debt paid off, you move to the next debt and pay more than the minimum on that one. Now, of course, while you're focusing on the one debt, the other debts have to get the minimum payment so that you can get the debt that you're focused on paid down. Then once you've paid that debt off, you move on to the next debt and make sure you're not just giving them the minimum payment. We're paying more than the minimum to get this paid off faster. Getting out of debt is not about luck. It's about a strategy. It's about discipline and making consistent choices that move you forward. If you stick to these steps, you'll not only free yourself from debt, but you'll also build a foundation for real financial freedom. Remember, the sooner you start, the sooner you can enjoy life without the weight of debt holding you back. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to never miss out on more financial education. If you have topic ideas or questions, drop them in the comments below and I'll gladly help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.